Hello Zosha, it's Saturday evening, you're still at the lakes. I think you're setting off for Warsaw tomorrow. Hello everyone else, and what I want to show you in this video is my latest toy for dust collection at the lathe. So, to be honest, when you're a wood turner, not a woodworker, there is almost no chance that you're going to be able to set up a system that collects all the chips, all the cuttings from your wood. I mean, it's just very, very difficult to imagine doing that on a decent budget. So what you actually need is something that will collect dust. Because you're collecting dust, you don't really need the cyclone and the separator. In my opinion anyway, you don't need the cyclone and the separator. You need a very straightforward system. So here we have, this one is stiler, but I think it's a generic Chinese model that lots of companies make. It's very cheap, has wheels on the bottom. What do I mean by very cheap? If I remember rightly, I paid about 800 Swati for this, so in terms of euros, it's probably about 150 to 170 euros. Same in dollars, of course. It has a 750 watt motor, and one of the nice things about it, I was quite surprised actually, for something so cheap, the motor is quite quiet. I mean, it's not quietness level where you can talk about everything, but it is quite quiet compared to, say, a shop vac. So it's got a standard 100mm hose connector, single hose connector, but I suppose you could use a splitter if you wanted to. In my case, 220 volts, 750 watt motor. I've just put it together. It took me the best part of 3 hours to put it together, but I have sciatica, so you could probably do it in 2. Interestingly, let me show you, I needed 3 different size spanners to put this thing together. And the tool that was provided in the kit, I didn't use even once. There isn't a single machine bolt in this, so I have no idea why they gave me that Allen key, but it'll go into the Allen key collection box. So let's turn this on. Maybe you can hear it through the microphone. So there we go. So I'm guessing it's somewhere around 70 decibels, maybe a little bit more. It's somewhere between a vacuum cleaner in the house and one of these new silent vacuum cleaners in the house, so somewhere around there. Not much else to say. I mean, the bag fills out nicely. So that's the sound. Let's switch that off. Okay, we switched the sound off. I mean, these things look very flimsy on the side that hold up the circular part here, but I don't feel the thing is flimsy. I feel it's well strong enough for its purpose. I guess once that bag is full, these will help to support the weight. These 2 clips went on okay-ish. They're surprisingly good. However, the plastic bag at the bottom was a pain, and if you do get one of these, my advice, the trick I found, was to put 4 pieces of masking tape around the outside of the bag. You know, just put one side of the bag on and a bit of masking tape, and then another side of the bag, and then another bit of masking tape, and that enabled the bag to stay in place while I put the clip around it. That's about it. Now that is going to connect, if I take you over here, that is going to connect to this device, which I'm going to use for collecting dust. when I am sanding on the lathe, particularly at the lower grits, because the higher grits I prefer to do a wet sanding with something like a Danish oil, but that will connect to here, and we will have dust collection at the lathe, and that's really all you need. You don't need, in my opinion anyway, you don't need anything more at the lathe. You could possibly get away with a shop vac, but it's not the greatest of sounds. And I'm not going to try and run this to any other devices. It's dedicated to my wood turning, and it's dedicated to helping me to inhale less dust. And mainly I'm worried about dust collecting on the shelves and on the floor that I then kick up later, as opposed to the dust at the lathe, because at the lathe I'll be wearing my mask, of course, but every bit helps. So there you go. I thought you'd like to see this early first impressions about putting it together, how long it takes, the noise that it makes. Let's see if it works in the next few weeks. All right, bye bye for now.